everybody. Welcome back. This is our third interview of the night in our IG Live series with the Podcast Babes, baby. Here is my beautiful author right here, right now. Let me get her connected. I'm so excited to talk with her. Hello, everybody. I am so impressed by this next author because we have such a history. Hello, beautiful lady. Hi, honey bunches.
Gotta make sure I look decent in the middle of the night.
You look beautiful as always.
So just so you know, I cannot see you.
You can't see me?
I cannot see you. Let's see.
Can everybody else see me? Let's see. Let's get a comment. Let's see. Either Nina or Simona or somebody. Can you guys see both of us? Can we get a yes in the chat? Okay, yes. AJ says yes. Perfect. All right. Well,
so we can talk, but just so you know, on my end, I can't see you, but I can still hear your voice and I can feel your vibe. So if they can see us, we're good.
Well, I get to see your beautiful face. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be.
There you go.
So this is my beautiful friend, Carmen Reyes, and I loved your chapter because you are one of the people that I actually lived your chapter with you, right?
Literally,
yes. I lived your chapter with you, and then got to reconnect with you. You know, not that anything happened, but you know, adult life, sometimes you have more connections, sometimes later. So we connected later on, and I got to see all the progress that you made. And so then having you be part of the Podcast Babes community and having you extract your power and put it into this chapter, it really brought me to tears. Another chapter that really brought me to tears, because I remember thinking, like, my friend is badass, right? Because of everything. Yes, you are. Everything that you've experienced, everything that you've been through, and the way that you're of service to other women, other mothers, other people, and you never let it dim your light, right? Like, you have your ups and your downs, and I love that you're so just real and raw about like who you are, and you're unapologetically you. Like, that's one of my favorite things.
So, I mean, you don't have an option, right? Like, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Well, you know what? That's not true for everybody, right? Like, there's so many people who are not living authentically. And that's why I love your chapter, because I think when we do choose to live authentically and we do tell our story authentically, it gives other people the ability to do the same, because they can watch the example and be like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. Right? Yeah. So without me telling too much about your chapter,
spoil it.
Where's a moment within your chapter? Because I recognize, just like other authors, that there were several moments where I could see that their power was starting to build, or they made that decision of, like, I'm not going to let this break me, right? I'm going to transmute this. So if you can take us to one moment in your chapter where you really felt that pain alchemizing into power, what moment would that be?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's hard for me to say, like, kind of almost the exact moment in which that happened. And for my piece specifically, you know, I kind of share 3 different memories within this whole piece. And it was more of an understanding that the world outside of me is going to do what it's doing. Not good, not bad, right? So, you know, just a little bit of, like, when I had to go to the court, you know, to the courthouse, people just did what they had to do. So it was like I was not urgent to anyone, or my life situation was not urgent to anyone. And I did not judge the other people. I did not make them wrong, but I understood, like, this is my life. So either I'm going to take the no's that people give me and kind of stay in the same situation that I'm in, or I'm going to find a way, or figure it out, or ask questions, and also allow myself to go through the shit of the experience, because you know, I talk about grief and loss, and it's part of life. So I
Yeah.
think I answered that. I think I answered that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love what you're saying, because you really could have let this stop you. Not only this particular moment that you write about, but just like any of the things that you've went through in your life,
Yeah.
right? Like, so many people will make an excuses. Well, this happened to me, or that happened to me, or I didn't have these resources, I didn't have those resources, or whatever it is. You can make the excuses, or you can make the way. And you literally made the way with all the things, right?
Yeah, and just to add, Kat, you know, one of the things, so I've shared very openly and even in my own Instagram page about losing my twin sister and really what that was like. And having to come to terms with the fact that even though I was grieving, although I was going through my own loss and just kind of figuring all these things out, like living without a twin, there were so many other lives that were at stake, right? Like it was not just me. So
Yeah.
focusing just on me would have led me a certain way, but to realize, wait a second, I have my kids, my sister's kids, my mom, these other individuals in my life that I love and care about. That magnified the loss, but it also magnified the purpose and the intention of like how significant our lives are in my life, in my piece, and how hard it was
I
to come out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, there's this saying that we will sometimes do more for others than we'll do for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think, from what I'm hearing too, it's like you recognize that you could either be the example, right? Or be the warning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but it really felt like and it was really hard for me to explain what that experience was. It There was something beautiful for me to experience the power of my life being mine,
Mm.
right? Like life is gonna happen, circumstances are gonna happen, people are gonna do what they do. Like I have literally no control over anything or anyone else in this world. I don't. As much as I try to control everything around me, including the kids, I don't, right? I don't control anything. So having a sense of power, and that was something that was developed. So I've always known that I've had power. I've made a lot of decisions in my life, but coming to terms with my choices about my life are going to make or break me, moment after moment after moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And there were so many moments that I recognized in my chapter where it's like, wow, that could have really broken her. But instead, you let it guide you. And what I love too is that you really give really good tips on strategies that you learned to help you get through it. And
Yeah.
I really love that, because they're simple, but they're also profound, right?
Yeah, and it's the little things too. Sometimes like people think it's like big things. Like it's no, when you're going through a difficult time, did you eat? Did you drink water? Are you staying hydrated? Like this, like to me, what felt like the simple things that would go to the sideline were things that absolutely made a difference when I had to take care of things.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And so when you were writing your chapter, because
Hmm.
there are some heavy things that you
Oh
were,
yeah.
talking about, really heavy things. Um, was there any resistance that you had in putting those things out there?
There was a resistance from the moment that this opportunity came up. Uh, so one of the things, Kat, that I've shared with you and I've shared with the podcast babes is how I process my life from these multiple lenses. For example, like what the teenager in me needs, what the young girl in me needs, the higher self. So like all these layered parts of me. And the resistance was not so much in writing it, but in the process of. So from the moment that I said, yes, I'm going to do this, the resistance of like, why are you writing this? Nobody wants to hear your story. This is stupid. Nobody gives a shit about all these other people. Like, what are you doing? The judge, the critic, the shame of like the shit show that my life was at that point. So there were all these layers. The resistance came more in the process rather than the writing itself.
Mm. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. And so what did you do to get past it?
I allowed myself to listen to those different parts because they all went through the journey, right? So all these layers, all these layered parts of me. were in that journey from the moment of the loss throughout those things. Also, I reached out to my community. So, I reached out to you. I was like, Kat, Houston, we have a problem. I'm just like, what am I, I'm gonna write this? Do I really want to write this? I reached out to my community, and also I love lattes, so I went to like one of my favorite coffee shops early in the morning, which I usually go to, and I sat there and I cried. When I called you, we cried and processed together, and I just allowed myself to really honor those parts of me that didn't want to tell the story, the parts of me that did not want to relive in any way, shape, or form the grief that I've experienced, the judgmental part of me. So that to me was, I'm process oriented. Like I love process. It's like a juicy, like caramel latte situation. I'm like, yes, love process. Process to me is so juicy. And so really like reaching out to community, and that really helped a lot.
Yeah. I love that. There's two things that I'm hearing here that are so big. Number one, I think that a lot of times people try to suppress certain things, right? And for me too, I felt like
Yeah.
that's been key in my life, like honoring those parts of you who are upset, or whatever the negative emotion is, whether it's angry or hurt, or feeling shame or jealous
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is. If you suppress it, then you don't get the lesson that's there,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this poem by Rumi that I love to give to clients too. And it talks about how, like, invite every single feeling in, right? Like, have it in for tea, talk with it, see what it needs, and
Yeah.
it's a house guest, and then let it go, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
welcome it, but also let it leave. But if you don't talk with it, if you don't actually get to express what's there, then you're missing it, and it's going to keep on knocking at the door. Right?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, Kat, one of the things that I've learned throughout this process is that it's very harmful to, so I want to think that I'm at a place in my life that I am very authentic in the way that I express myself and advocating for myself and for my loved ones. But what comes with that is doing exactly what you're speaking about. Because the thing is that all these parts of me, all these layers, however you want to call it, they're all there for a reason. They all showed up in the first place for a reason. So when these things come up, these confronting experiences, and I'm like, okay, I have to write about this loss with my twin sister. I got to talk about like that experience at the courthouse. I got to talk about these moments that were painful, that were upsetting. If I don't honor that voice, the shit is going to show up. So it's not going to show up in the writing, but it's going to show up in the train station when somebody cuts me off and I will punch them in the head, right? So it's going to show up. So how do I responsibly allow all these parts of me to show up? And also, like, I think about it like a pressure cooker, right? So like when that shows up, like allowing some steam to come off, like take the lid off and let it be. And also, like the last piece on that is I honor it so much that if I can't get past it after talking to my community, to you, if I couldn't get past that, that piece didn't have to be written, or it wasn't time to write it. So I
Yeah.
honor it that much with like respecting myself, my own personal emotional boundaries. Like I'm okay to talk, I'm okay to tell you about my life, but that piece doesn't need to be told. But it
Yeah.
was. So
Yeah, I actually remember that this. I not only do I remember the discussion you and I had privately, but also when we talked about it in community, right? Where it
yeah.
was just like the difference between, is it, do I want to tell this or not, right? And honoring that, right? Because the truth is like you can
Yep.
tell your story and stand in your truth, but you could also not, right? And figuring out the
Hmm.
discernment of, do I want to tell this and how do I want to tell it?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to honor yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because we can stand in our own truth, and maybe the story is meant to be told now, maybe it's
Yep.
meant to be told later, or maybe it's only meant for our close people that are closest to us, right?
Yeah.
And all of it is okay, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I love that you were even just able to come to community and say that, because I think that helped a lot of people. It helped me too, because one of the things that that I expressed and during that call was, there's something that I learned in NLP, which is called being artfully vague. And I do that on my chapter. And I do that a lot when I'm either on podcasts or I'm telling my story, because sometimes some of the parts of the story that I have to tell, it's not just me that's involved,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So there's other people. So for me, it was important to be able to tell my story truthfully, but also respectfully, so that the people that are around me who, that maybe I don't really want to hurt, or don't have the tools that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the one that's always doing the self-development work.
Yep.
And sometimes other people don't have those tools. And I think that's important to remember, is that I might be seeing this as something that's empowering, but they still have not gotten past certain
Yeah.
things and they might not see it as empowering. So being able to still say something, so because it's my story, right? Like, I want to
Mm-hmm.
own it, I should be able to say it, but say it in a way that's artfully vague, that actually is respectful to the other person too, I think is important. So
Yeah.
that's what I learned when it came to, do I want to tell my story or not. So we had like a similar resistance, but like maybe a little different, but
Yeah.
the same concept. Like, how do I honor these parts of me, this resistance, this that's coming up, and still be authentic to who I am?
Oh, yeah.
So good. And so when you, I love that you like had your coffee in the morning, where you wrote your chapter. Did you find any other like things that were helpful in writing? Any other rituals or things like that?
Yeah. So I like, even when I speak, I kind of have to slow down to allow myself to receive input from my surroundings, right? So whether it's my own mind, the thoughts that are coming into my mind in the moment, when I'm outside, what's happening outside of me, because I feel that for me, everything inspires me. Everything helps me clarify my thinking and my feelings, and it helps me clarify my thoughts in writing. So
Mm.
to me, it was helpful. Usually I'll sit inside the coffee spot, but I actually, when I called you, I was sitting outside. And there was, so to me, it took me from the moment that I said yes to writing this. It took me, I think it was the day, the day that it was due, that I was like, Kat, let's talk. Because I really was sitting with the concept or the idea that I had about that piece. So to me, is I give myself enough time to allow the world outside of me to inform an idea that I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love it. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I love that you learned that for
Hmm.
yourself. I think that this process has been really beautiful for all of us, therapeutic in some way,
Yeah,
shape, or form. And that's what I'm really loving about this, is because it's even though we've gone through the story already and we already have the power, it's like amplifying that power. It's becoming even more
absolutely.
therapeutic, and I can't wait for other women to read it and for them to harness that power, and for it to just snowball and continue to be this movement of really becoming like standing in our power and getting even stronger.
No, absolutely. And the one thing that I've loved is how each person that's in the anthology has a different story, has a different way of how they came into their own power. And to me, that itself was very inspirational, because my journey does not and it should not look like everybody else's. Like, that's not the point. The point of the anthology is not like, okay, here we have everybody looks the same and everybody sounds the same and everybody's story is the same. It's like, it does not matter how our stories unfold. It's the fact that they have unfolded, that they are unfolding, that we are finding our power. And also that it doesn't matter what level of that strength we're in. It's like, we're just doing it. We're really getting together, finding our own voices, our own strengths. So like, that really like moved me as I was putting my piece together.
Yes, you actually just gave me chills, because it's so true. When I was reading the chapters, I really got that for myself too, because it's like everybody. talks differently, right?
Yeah.
So even just the language that they use to tell their story, the background that they have, the country that they grew up in, the the religion that they have, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so beautiful. I think one thing that I've learned is about being like-hearted. You know how people will talk about being like-minded?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the podcast babes, what we are is like-hearted, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we all come from different spaces, backgrounds, religions, teachings, learnings, but I
Yeah.
believe that we all want to be a force for good, right? And that like-heartedness and wanting to create an impact and make the world better, I think is what's so beautiful about us.
Yeah.
And so beautiful about you. You really are up to some big things in the world. So if you want to talk more with Carmen, if you want to learn more about her story, if you want to read her chapter, please come see us on October 18th, where we're going to be going deeper into everybody's story, everybody's chapter, and give you some really cool ways to stay connected with us.
Yeah.
And learn more about our book. Thank you so much, Carmen, for being here with me today. I can't wait to see you on the 18th. And I can't wait for your chapter to be released to the world, because I think so many people are going to get so much out of it.
Yes. And Kat, thank you, because one of the things is that, in addition to my resistance to get to a certain point, is there's a lot of things that I'm just not going to do if I'm left to my own devices. I don't want to write stories about my life. I don't want to, but I know it's necessary. So having someone like you who really leads with their heart and creates these spaces where we're held, we're supported, we're not judged for the resistance, and also we're not micromanaged as a community, that really allows me personally to show up, even if I'm kicking and well, the teenager in me is kicking and screaming the whole time, like I ain't doing shit. Don't tell me nothing. I'm not doing it. So thank you for your leadership. And I'm like, I cannot wait till the 18th for us to come together and kind of everybody share a piece of their stories.
Yes, thank you, thank you. That means a lot to me. I love our community, and I cannot wait to continue to see all the big things that we'll be up to.
Yes. So if y'all don't have it down on your calendar, October 18th, that's a Saturday, make it happen. Put it in your
Yes.
calendar, set an alarm, because you're going to forget, especially for those moms out there, you're going to forget. So put it in your alarm.
Yes, link is in the bio. Go register now. Go, go, go. I love you.
I love you too. And hugs and kisses to everybody out there watching. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, yes. And we will see you guys soon. Thank you, my love.
Yes.
Have a
All
great
right,
night. Have
girls,
abundance.
bedtime.
Love you.
I love you too. Good night, everyone.
Good night.